elected rabbis to agree on one thing, but agree they did. And what they agreed was to ask our elected officials not to halt or even to limit.
Why you see so many liberalized white people is through the propaganda from the same people. So they understand, this is what, from the rabbis, they understand that Muslims are harder to corrupt, right? Their faith right now is stronger, but the Western white people, they're easy to corrupt, so you could push the isms on them, liberalism, feminism, and you could take them away from their core identity a lot. It's so much easier. So you get them to believe in their propaganda, and then you get them to believe that Muslims are the enemy. So you get a bunch of liberalized white people selling out their own, shielding, like you see the ICE protests are a perfect example. And il y a un problème. Il y a beaucoup de problèmes. Il y a beaucoup des immigrants qui viennent des Afriques. Ils sont musulmans. Je suis juif. J'aime beaucoup les destructions. Tu comprends? Qui parle français ici? Il y a une personne qui parle français? Mon accent, pas mal. Pas mal. Mon père vient d'Haïti. Moi, you know, one of the funniest French swear words, you ever see the Parisians talk on Twitter? They say MDR. Instead of male, they say MDR. Is that Rabbi Haitian or French accent? He's a French accent. I have a little bit of a Haitian accent when I'm speaking. I'm used to, I need to get better at it. Look at you guys, MDR. That means shit. That means, MDR means mailed. Mailed is shit. Putain. That means fuck. If you want to say, let me teach you some French. If you want to say suck my dick, suck my dick. Yo, nigga, suck my dick. French people, they say suce ma bite. Alors, suce ma bite. Nique ta mère. Nique ta mère means fuck your mother. Nique ta mère, suce ma bite. You could do this one too. Nique ta mère, suce ma bite. C'est quoi ça? Okay.
The United States Refugee Admissions Program.
Wait, MDR is lol? I thought it was shit. Okay, I gotta learn more. Moving on. Ex-Mossad chief admits Israel planted bombs in most countries on earth. Booby-trapped and manipulated equipment. Like Hezbollah's pages have been placed in all countries you can imagine. This is insane. Why is media ignored it? So Mossad has probably planted bombs around the world, and what they're going to do is they're going to blame it on terrorist groups. They're going to create the terrorist groups. Mossad creates the terrorist groups, then they're going to plant bombs and then blame it on the terrorist groups so that everybody starts to think it's the Muslim terrorists, when the real terrorists are the ones in Israel.
Did you see the surprises in Gaza?
Surprises?
Yeah.
You mean intelligence surprises?
Pages, walkie-talkies. Do you know how many treated equipment do we have in these countries?
You ever seen Netanyahu brag about, you ever seen the cell phone? This is an Israeli invention. You have a piece of Israel in your hand right now. It's regulated. This is something of us.
You don't. I do.
You mean you mean booby-trapped equipment?
Not only booby-trapped.
And spying.
Manipulated equipment. All right.
In which countries are you talking about? In
all the countries that you can imagine.
And not Gaza?
Not Gaza. Not enough.
In Gaza at
all. Z-Wagger, what's up, man? He said, tu parles super bien français, bravo. Merci beaucoup. Il est assez difficile de parler français parce que j'habite aux États-Unis et il y a beaucoup de personnes qui parlent avec moi, mais je pense que mon accent est assez bien. Pas parfait, mais je voudrais parler français meilleur.
Did you see that? If we had it, I mean, we knew something about them coming. Something, right? I would have sold them everything. Just everything. I mean, you can't imagine the quantity when I have invented that method.
So is this this is ex-Mossad chief right here. Listen closely.
That was in 2002 to 2004.
2002, 2004, so right after 9/11, which I don't need to keep self-censoring about. I still am on Batu, but I am of the belief that, I don't know if I could say this on YouTube, but I am of the belief that 9/11 was, you get it.
Pager method.
The manipulated equipment method.
So you can understand, if you do believe that, why they started to spread these pages around directly after 9/11. If everybody believes that Muslims are terrorists right now at the height of this propaganda, Ooh, this is the perfect time to go plant these bombs everywhere.
Okay? We have already used it. Manipulated equipment. In Second Lebanon War, some of the elements were speaking to us.
How did you use it?
Want a glass of water?
We can get some brandy.
He can tell you, but he didn't.
I know
have
it's
to
an
kill you.
early morning in London. I mean, I don't think that is the case. But
in
how did we
general
do
terms,
it? I tell you.
And again, remember, I do repeat this a lot, but Israel has the Samson option. Look this up. The Samson option is the ability for Israel to bomb the entire world if enough anti-Semitism arises everywhere. So you can see Trump hinting at the fact that he wants U.S. to nuke Iran if he's ever assassinated. And you could probably guess, too, that Mossad has been sneakily planting bombs around the world. If things get too out of hand, then they can nuke everybody. It's not the Samsung option, the Samson option. This is definitely within their playbook, right? Staging attacks, staging events, false flags. They love this. Look at the Gulf, not the Gulf of Tonkin. The perfect example is the USS Liberty, a U.S. boat killed by Israel. So I'm showing this to disprove everybody like, okay, numbers guy. Iranians hate the Ayatollah.
Do you think it's too late to prevent civil wars in the US and Europe?
No. Well, we can do what we can, and the reason, the point of the stream right now is to say as much as possible to slow it down and to try to prevent war. But a lot of this is inevitable. This is going to happen. This is prophecy. There's going to be wars against Christians and Muslims, and eventually the Muslims and Christians will realize what's going on and then switch. And then they will become allies. But this is going to happen. The West will decline. Unfortunately. I love America. This is my country. I want it to do well. But the writing is on the wall. Nobody learned their mistakes from the past 20 years. The Western Empire is inevitably going to self-destruct. Became arrogant. Became too war hungry. These people are freaks. These people are completely disillusioned and have been subverted intellectually, and also through blackmail. They've been completely subverted by the Jewish supremacists of Israel. It's gonna self-destruct, 100%. Search Iran costs on Google Ticker, tracks how much taxpayer money is being used per hour in the war. Okay, well, we'll check that out. And have you guys noticed? Because if this is the Matrix, right? Have you noticed Top Goy, who said that we should escape the Matrix? Have you noticed him say anything about the war besides just saying, Dubai, Dubai? All he's talking about is Dubai. Second, it's Ramadan. We're halfway through. He has not said a word about Ramadan. He has said so much about how we should trust the UAE government. Dubai has the best government of UAE. I'm going to escape the Matrix, but I put all my trust in the government. That is the literal opposite of escaping the Matrix. The guy completely sold out. I saw Tristan Tate saying, I'm praying for the Israelis. And then a month ago, we saw when they went on an apology tour to blame me for a song that offended the Epstein regime, he said, I have an Israeli girlfriend. Literally, Tristan Tate has an Israeli girlfriend. Andrew Tate says, I've got tech teams in Israel. So you can understand why they're not saying anything about Ramadan and why they haven't said anything useful about the war at all. Besides saying, it's over in 24 hours, and then Dubai gets hit again. Again. They've completely sold out. Completely. The people that once said we need to escape the Matrix have bent over backwards to join them out of desperation, out of fear, and because they want shekels, because they want fame and money. Doop-de-doo, there's war, but I'm in Dubai. Uh-oh, doop-de-doo, you're getting bombed. I've got a yacht. Yeah, he had a lot to say about the Muslims are going to go come slaughter your daughter. And then Muslims are getting slaughtered by the Jewish supremacists and the Epstein regime. He doesn't say a word for his Muslim brothers. His Muslim brothers are going to war against the Epstein regime, against the Matrix. Tate doesn't say a word. Okay, there's a staged event. There's a Christian shooter that blamed on Muslims. Top Goy falls for it. They're going to go slaughter your daughter. He doesn't realize, because he doesn't read anything about faith, because he says reading is gay. He doesn't know anything at all. He's falling exactly for that Matrix propaganda. I didn't play the song. And also imagine, I was thinking about this yesterday. I didn't want to tweet it, but it is unfortunate. EA did apologize to the Jews, but the timing is just not on the side, huh? The whole world right now, all the people that they called anti-Semitic, one, we're owed an apology. Everybody that you accused of anti-Semitism, you need to write an apology and say, you know what? Yeah, maybe you had a point about Israel controlling America because now we're at war and I tried to get you canceled and ruin your life. Two, imagine what Andrew Tate feels like right now for going on a nationwide Jewish apology tour. I didn't play it, Sneako did it. Right before the Epstein files drop and then right after Iran war with the US and Israel, completely just to support Israel. They're even admitting that Iran posed no imminent threat on America. The timing of him to apologize like that, really, Allah is the best of planners. Oh, you wanted to go sell him out? You were afraid? You wanted to get shekels? Now what? You lost all credibility. Have fun being the part of the Matrix, Top Boy. Fah! Aged like fucking milk. You see anybody talk about the Club Holocaust now? Everybody that was up in arms about the Club Holocaust, now we see where the U.S. is being dragged into war for the Jewish supremacists. They're like, I kind of want to play that song now. Imagine how many people are like in their homes alone. Damn, what? My friends, my Americans are getting drafted to fight for Israel? Alexa, play that song that Sneako played. Da-na-na, da-na-na. And you see the Shias. What does that look like, you know? I think it's time we bring the Nazi salute back. Horrible timing, huh? But that's what you get. Allah is the best of planners. That's what happens when you shill. Look at that. You guys saying play that song? Not on YouTube. When I code over to Kick, I'll play it. And here is going on in Iran right now. For all the Christian shills, well, like I'm not trying to divide, but there are a lot of Muslim shills as well. But here's a Christian cathedral in Iran. It's an Armenian cathedral. Look how beautiful this is. This is what Trump wants to bomb. This is what Pete Hegseth, the Christian crusader, he wants this bombed. Wants the whole country wiped out. Beautiful. Beautiful. Christ is King in the chat for the Christians watching. This is absolutely beautiful. I love cathedrals. I love churches like this. My favorite is the Gothic churches. Especially you see them in Barcelona. But that's what they want to bomb. It's not shirk. It's all respect. And I do believe, in a way, I know people criticize that, but I think you can say Christ is king. I think I can say Christ is king. Or Christ will be king. Let's look at, this is my favorite. I'll show you my favorite church architecture. All respect to the Christians. This is my favorite. If you go to the Barcelona Gothic Quarter, look at this architecture here. This is stuff that inspires the soul. And the reason they want to get rid of this is because they want the West to be soulless so that they can plug them in with all the ism programming. Give them feminism instead of give them soul-inspiring works of art like this. Because art is not profitable to the Jewish supremacists. You don't get shekels out of it. You can't make money on Wall Street and from people's mortgages. You can't make money from interest on loans if people are inspired like this. Art does not benefit. Art does not benefit that sort of matrix. But walking through something like this, you will be inspired. And I want to see Europe preserve that.
What about Muslims, though? Do you think Shias and Sunnis will ever reunite?
I do. And I think it's a lot more united than people make it out to be. I think the internet and that rhetoric, I think it is being pushed too. I think that's part of the PSYOP. I think a lot of that rhetoric to try to divide Muslims is intentional from the Jewish supremacists. Because look at Pakistan. Pakistan is predominantly Sunni. Afghanistan is predominantly Sunni, if I'm not mistaken. Even right there, Iran is funding the Palestinian resistance. The Palestinians are Sunni, the Iranians are Shia. There's a lot more unity than you realize. A lot of it is the rhetoric online and the rhetoric in America. And that's not representative of the entire Ummah. So don't feed into that. It's useless right now. It's literally useless to be divisive about that. Moving on. Israel's burning right now. And I checked this. This is AI verified. Let's see, because this does kind of look AI. Let me check again. I tried to verify all this stuff before I started streaming. Grok is saying this video is real. It's civilian footage from a balcony in Tel Aviv today. Ooh, man. What's that song again? Boom, 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 boom. I think the audio is AI, but the visuals are real. The audio is probably fake. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, like the audio. Tel Aviv, I can't believe this. Like, dude, come on. Here we go. Look at the Epstein regime code.
The objectives for our Operation Epic Fury, I'm convinced, because I've now been to multiple...
Operation Epstein Fury. What are you... Call of Duty 7. Epic Fury. No, it's Epstein Fury. Like, no... Guys covered it up and then went to war a week later.
That's because I've now been to multiple briefings and I've understood the point of this. The objective was not regime change. The objective was to take out those missiles, the short and mid-range missiles, and their ability to produce them. We did that. That was
Persian girls on X singing, dancing at their country being attacked are vile whores. Gross.
They are. And so are the people like PBD and Kason selling out their own people without knowing anything at all. PBD does know and he knows better, but he's more supportive of Judeo-Christian values than he is of his own people. Kason's just stupid. I mean, like, not trying to be completely disrespectful, but Kason's an idiot about the subject. He really has no idea what he's talking about. You know, those people celebrating too, like laughing and, you know, mocking their own people being struck into school. Yeah, it's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I don't think I could even say a lot of this stuff. Okay, YouTube, come on over to Kick. There's 2,000. Oh man, it's going up. I'll stay on YouTube a little longer, but here, you guys should start coming over from YouTube. Go click the link right here. I'm going to switch over soon.
Two was to eliminate their naval capabilities, destroy those, and the...
Thanks for the donor on YouTube. He said, I'm from Syria, and what Khomeini did to us is like Bashar al-Assad. WCGO just want you to know and speak up about what he did to us, bro, because he's one of the biggest terrorists. Appreciate you. I need to do more research about that, but again, like, if that's true, like, I'm not supportive of that. You guys don't get it. You keep saying this, oh, he did this bad thing. Obviously, I'm not in supportive of that. I'm not a supporter of that. I'm talking about what's happening right now, okay? Understand that. If that's true, that's bad. What do you think I'm not going to condemn that?
Missiles, and we are well on our way to accomplishing that mission. That is why I think the president has said, in his own words, the commander-in-chief has said this is going to be a operation that's short in duration. We certainly hope that's true. The objectives for our Operation Epic Fury, I am convinced, because I've now been to multiple briefings and I've understood the point of this. The objective was not regime change. The objective was to take out those missiles, the short and mid-range missiles.
Okay, so the objective was not regime change, it was to take out missiles. So why did they bomb a school? They claimed that it was a misfire, but we know that Israelis love killing children. It's one of their favorite activities is to kill kids. That's a complete lie. Our objective was not regime change. Okay, well, now what? So you killed Khomeini, you killed the Ayatollah, you killed the person in charge. If your objective wasn't regime change, then why would you kill the person in charge? You're going to need to put somebody else in charge, unless you want to keep following that pattern. Straight coat. YouTube, come on over. Come right now. Click the link. Kick.com/Sneako. All right, let's see if they come over. Say YouTube raid if you guys came over from YouTube. Let me go.